Hi, I'm Jenna. Welcome to Jenna's Sparkling Kitchen. Today we're going to be making some creamy kielbasa pasta. So for that we're going to need some kielbasa, which if you don't know what that is, it's Polish sausage. I like to get the kind that has pork, turkey, and beef because beef is always just nice. And then you're going to need some heavy cream. Whipping cream will also work. Some pasta. I like fettuccine or linguine because they're flat, so I just feel like they have a nice texture, and I love using whole grain, but you can of course use non-whole grain. And then a couple cups of sauce. And your spices, which we'll go over. So I have a pot of water boiling on the stove for the pasta. It just has some red pepper and some salt in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut about this much kielbasa off, because the nice thing about kielbasa is you don't need a lot of kielbasa to get a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna cut it long ways down the middle, twice. So I'm flipping it in between. And then I'm quartering it so that it's little tiny pieces. So kielbasa is smoked, but you're still gonna wanna cook it up a bit. Some people boil it, some people fry it. We're just gonna put it in a little saucepan. You don't need anything else in there because it has enough greases of its own that it'll make enough. So we're just gonna stick that on medium heat, I would say about 6 or so, and just let it sit for a few minutes. So as you can see, the kielbasa will sweat off some oils. And it's gonna change color a little bit, so it's getting a little bit browner than it was. So you're just gonna keep stirring that. And as you can see over here, our pasta water has begun to boil. So I'm gonna take a little less than half the box of the linguine. And I'm just gonna grab a handful of that. Even it out. And then I'm gonna break it over the sink. That allows it to cook more evenly. Just drop it in. So that's what the box looks like. That's how much I used. This should make about 4 or 5 servings. So we're just gonna keep stirring that, stirring the pasta, making sure that that doesn't boil over or burn, because they can stick to the bottom. And like I said, that pasta water just has salt and red pepper in it. So once these are browning up and sizzling nicely, we're gonna go ahead and pour in our sauce. You can hear that action going on. All right. So we're gonna stir that up a bit. And I'm gonna go in and add some extra spices, even though the kielbasa has a lot of spice on its own. So I'm gonna add a little, or a lot, of black pepper and garlic powder. Basil, and a little bit of red pepper, and of course some more salt. You'll notice that I'm very sparing with my salt because this is kosher salt or sea salt, and that's a lot thicker. The grains are very thick. I can show you. So compared to a regular salt grain, these are really quite large. So that's why I am that way with my salt. So you're just gonna let that stir, turn the heat down to probably about 2, so very low heat. And just keep stirring your pasta until they're ready. I like my pasta al dente. So that means with a bite. So I'm gonna just not let it cook until it's floppy. I'm gonna keep testing it. And that's really the only way to tell if your pasta is cooked, is you just keep pulling strands out and testing it and seeing how it is. But keep in mind that if you're serving this later on, or if it's going to be sitting in the sauce for a while, that it will soften up a bit. So if you're planning on having it sitting out with sauce, then you're going to need to undercook it a little bit because it will soak up more. So now that our pasta is boiled for a while, we're just going to take a strainer, put it in the sink, and we're going to drain our pasta. It's definitely steamy, so be careful. So now I'm just gonna shake that out and bring it right into this pot right here with that sauce. I'm just gonna stir it in, turn the heat all the way down to low. And I'm gonna come in with our heavy cream. So this is gonna be like similar to a vodka sauce where it's gonna have that creamy vibe to it. But it's also gonna have meat since it has the kielbasa. So go ahead and just add a good amount of that. Basically just add some, stir, and you're just trying to achieve a certain color. So that's why this recipe works with however much you're using, is because you can just proportion it until you get the right color. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, so I want it a bit lighter, because I like my sauce really creamy. So there we go. Let's go ahead and try our kielbasa pasta. I'm just gonna dip this right in there. Make sure I get a good amount of sauce, some kielbasa. Gotta twirl this forever. It's the only bad thing about pasta. So this is super hot since it was just cooking, so I'm just gonna let that cool off. So let's try this. That is delicious. I've got this super creamy sauce, beautifully cooked pasta, and a punch of flavor with that kielbasa. If you've never tried kielbasa, be expecting a lot of flavor. And it's definitely a flavor you gotta get used to, so see if you like it. If not, you could always do it without the kielbasa. You could always do it without the cream as well. So this is a variation on a few recipes that you can try. And thank you for watching Jenna's Sparkling Kitchen. Keep watching for more episodes.